Today is May 15th, 2011. We are interviewing Opa.
Who's Opa?
Oh, Arthur Adler and his story. Opa equals grandpa in German.
He's your father's father.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interviewing him about the Holocaust and his story and stuff, and he's going to say his story, and then we're going to ask him questions.
I was born on March 18th, 1926, in a town called Bad Wimpfen, which is approximately 30 miles south of the university city of Heidelberg.
In what country?
And my father was born in the next town. My grandfather, my great-grandfather were all born in the same vicinity.
What country?
In Germany. It's the southern part of Germany near the city of Heidelberg. I was one of four. I had three sisters, myself, and my parents, and I went to school in the town of Bad Wimpfen till I was 12 years old, till the Nazis came and smashed our house on Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass. And my father was beaten up in the backyard and taken to a concentration camp for about 4 weeks. And when he returned, we could not live in our house anymore. We moved to the city of Stuttgart, a big city, and from there my father and mother were instrumental in getting us, one of my sisters and myself, on a children's transport to Holland. My older sister was in the United States at that time already.
Okay, that's
My father had sent her to an aunt of his in the Bronx about 2 years before.
Okay.
On the children's transport to Holland was myself and my next sister, who was 2 years younger than I am.
Okay, and how old were you when you went?
I was 12 and my sister was 10.
Okay.
How long was how long did it take to get to Holland?
We went by train to Holland. It took about, I don't remember exactly, but we were stopped at the border and searched that we didn't bring anything unusual out of the country. In Holland we first went to a place called Bergen am See, Z-E-E, which was the winter time. Then in the summertime they moved.
Well, where is Bergen am See?
Holland.
Yeah, where?
Near Alkmaar.
It's at the beach, right?
Yeah, on the ocean. Originally, we were about 150 kids that left Germany on the same train, but some of the older ones were sent to a different place called Eindhoven, and the younger ones, including myself, went to Bergen am See and then to Amsterdam.
Okay.
What was the orphanage called? What was the orphanage called?
What was its name?
Did it have a name, the orphanage?
I don't remember. Let me think. No. But I was in the Queen Wilhelmina hospital for 2 months.
When you were in Amsterdam?
When I was in Amsterdam, in the home diphtheria broke out, which was a very bad disease. And I was in the Queen Wilhelmina hospital in Amsterdam for about 2 months. And I recuperated, thank God. I was there about a little over a year and a half.
Okay.
And I was bar mitzvahed in Holland in the Portuguese synagogue in Amsterdam.
When was that?
In March 1939.
Were there any other boys your age when you were in the orphanage?
Any what?
Any other people your age in the orphanage?
Yes. I was a woman by the name of Mrs. Weissmuller, got me my papers, and we went from...
Who was Mrs. Weissmuller?
She was on the Jewish committee, a Gentile woman who saved thousands of Jewish children and other people.
Yeah.
When the Nazis invaded, after I was gone, she got all the kids on the ship to England.
What year, when did you leave Holland and how old were you?
I was 13 when I left. I was 14 on the ship coming to the America.
When did you leave Holland?
March 1940.
Okay, and the war started in Holland a month and a half later.
Hitler invaded Holland Belgium and Luxembourg and France, May the 10th. About 6 weeks after I left was
And what ship were you on?
the Penland, P-E-N-N-L-A-N-D.
And where did the
Dutch
ship go?
It went from Antwerp to the United States.
To where? Where did it land?
New York.
Hoboken, no?
Yeah, Hoboken, New York.
Okay.
New York Harbor.
Okay.
He knows more than I know.
I have a question. Okay, who did you like? When you got off the boat in America, like where did you go? Like, did you?
I got off the boat. My parents were there, and my father's aunt was there.
Well, tell me, you said your parents were there.
How did your parents get there?
Right.
My parents came to the United States about 8 or 9 months before me, with my youngest sister Renee. So you got to remember that we were four children, and my father, for some reason, had the idea to split us up because it was very hard as one family to immigrate to the United States. It would have been 6 people, which was a lot of people. They left. They sent me and Melly to Holland, and they were able to get a ship in Rotterdam, and they visited me while I was in the hospital in Amsterdam.
And they left you behind because they didn't have a passport for you.
They set everything in motion when they got here to get me the papers.
So they came first, 9 months before, and then you were able to get out with Melly, and then they met you at the boat.
In Hoboken, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, me and Brooke have questions. So, Brooke,
No, you go first.
okay, me first. What is what you most remember about like the whole time? Like
What I most remember about coming to the United States?
or like the whole anything like around that time? Yeah.
Well, I remember a lot of things. I remember Amsterdam, and I remember everybody running on the left side of the ship when we came to New York to see the Statue of Liberty, which a lot of people didn't know what it was at that particular time. I was glad to be reunited with my family.
Okay. What?
Okay, my question is, did you ever encounter the Nazis?
Did I ever what?
Encounter the Nazis.
Yes, in Germany, Kristallnacht. And when I went to school, they were trying to beat me up. I used to go a certain way to go walk to school, and they followed me. Of course, there was anti-Semitism. People didn't want to talk to our family anymore, and
How did they know that you were Jewish?
in a small town, everybody knows what everybody is.
How big was the town?
About 3,000 people at the time.
Did you like miss your family when you were away from them? Like
Did I miss my family?
yeah, when you
Sure.
were away from them.
At that time, I was 12 years old. Can you imagine getting away from your parents, that they've being sent away?
To a different country?
Okay. Did they like? Was there a different language when you went?
In Holland, they spoke Dutch.
Did you know how to speak Dutch?
Yeah.
And in Germany, we spoke German.
Yeah, but did you know any Dutch when you went there? No.
No, I learned it. I spoke Dutch pretty well, but I forgot it, you know.
Yeah. How long was the boat ride here from
About 10
Belgium?
days.
10 days?
9. I lived in the Bronx with my parents.
And how much English did you know?
Very little. Yes and no is all I know.
Sure, on that my mom has of you on a soccer team.
Playing soccer? You
In Bergenham City, no, wait a second. In Bergenham City, I was on the soccer team.
Yeah, we have a picture.
You saw that picture, right?
Yes.
Okay.
that's when he was in the orphanage, and there were.
Were you ever when you came to America and you were living in New York? Were you scared that the Nazis were going to come to America?
No. Although I was afraid of policemen because they used to come and search you in Germany and attack you. So every time I saw a policeman, I was very scared of them, even in the United States.
And What do you remember about growing up in Germany? Do you remember when the Nazis came to power?
Not when they came to power, but things started to change. My father couldn't do any business with the farmers anymore, and
Were there ever times that you didn't understand what was happening? Like, were there?
I was your age. I didn't understand. I understood very little. 38. Kristallnacht.
Okay.
They smashed hundreds of synagogues all over Germany. Smashed a lot of houses, a lot of businesses, and took a lot of the men to camps.
And you remember you had the temple that you went to, the synagogue, was in Bad Wimpfen? Was it in the next town?
In the next town, that was also destroyed.
They on Crystal Night they broke the windows there?
No, they put it on fire.
Oh.
That was the synagogue.
Okay. And did anything happen to your house that night?
The house was smashed, the windows were smashed, the doors were smashed, the telephone wires were ripped out.
They did that, or?
Was I in the house?
Were you in the house when that happened?
Yes.
And you remember it anymore?
Of course I remember like yesterday.
And you were upstairs?
Upstairs we had a room upstairs.
And and when you went to public school here and you learned English?
I was
Okay.
put back 2 years because I didn't speak English. But I knew arithmetic better than the American kids. Now you don't believe this. You multiply from right to left, I multiply from left to right and come up with the same answer.
Did any of your family die in the Holocaust?
Yes.
Who?
My mother's brother
Yeah.
So your uncle?
and my father's mother, my grandmother.
This is my opa's passport, and there's his picture on it. I think he was 12 or 13. And there's the red Janet for Jew.
Question.
Okay. Did you ever go back to the town that you lived in Germany?
I never went back.
How come?
I didn't feel like going back and bring back too many bad memories.
Okay. And did any of your family ever go back?
My older sister once went back, Ruth.